Hey students, today is Monday, February the 1st, 2016. Can't believe we're already through January and into February. Here are today's announcements. If you're 18 today, which some of our students are, today is the very last day that you can register to vote in order to vote in the March 1st primary. Now, you will be able to vote in the presidential election if you register after today, but if you're 18, go ahead and register to vote. Vote in the primary. Let your voice be heard. Be an active participant in democracy. Or just do nothing and whine about your circumstances. The other one sounds better, though. We're having a prom officially, yay, and details are coming on the next slide. Very excited. We had a minimum number of students that we had to have RSVP before we decided to have a prom, and we met the minimum. And that's it. We were right at the minimum. That means, but if you didn't RSVP, you can still come and buy a ticket and all of that. But please, if you RSVP'd, counting on you to buy a ticket and come, because that's going to cover our minimum expenses. But the details are, when? April the 9th at 7 p.m. Where? At the Fairmount Elementary Gym. Now, a lot of people might say that, oh, that kind of stinks. You guys are having prom in a gym. But it's really kind of old school, because that's what all the proms used to be. Everybody else rents out these really expensive, lavish places. We don't have the funds for that. And so 2 years ago, we had a prom and had it in the gym, and it was fantastic. So don't think it's going to be awful. It's actually a lot better, I think, when it's just so, I don't know, like the prom your parents went to. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It's very tops. The theme is make your own theme. So we're going to have very neutral kind of decorations and everything, and whatever theme you want it to be. Like if you had in mind, well, this is going to be a camo dress prom, then you wear your camo dress. If you thought it was going to be like a cosplay prom, then you do that. Whatever, but we just want it to be fun and a very memorable experience for you. All top students are invited regardless of class. It's not just a junior or senior prom, and you can bring one guest. However, you're responsible for your guest behavior. I'm not worried about that at all. We have fantastic kids in this school. We had fantastic students show up last time. The guests were great and everything. But you're responsible. Now, the cost for coming is $20 per person. So if you and a guest come, that's $40 you're going to have to pay for tickets for each of you. I did the math for you. But that's it's pretty cheap for a prom. So we try to make it as I don't want to say cheap, but we try to make it as the least expensive as possible. That way everybody can participate and it's not a huge financial strain. The dress does need to be formal, semi-formal, based on what your theme is. If you want to know what the dress code is, look at yourself in the mirror and ask myself, am my dress code appropriate? If you have a question about that, then you probably aren't. I'm not expecting problems with that. Everybody pretty much knows what's acceptable, not acceptable. If you look at like formal dresses the Kardashians would wear, that's probably inappropriate. But I'm not going to get all hung up on a dress code. Just going to use common sense for everybody. This week's winter break. And so how does winter break work for TOPS? Well, if we were brick and mortar school, you would be off Thursday and Friday. However, since it's winter break for us and we have a flexible schedule, our due date is still Friday. However, we're only assigning what we consider 3 days of work. So you should be able to get your work done by Wednesday and chill on Thursday, Friday. For those of you who, for circumstances of your own fault or not your own fault, are behind, this is a very good week to catch up, because you could work 5-6 days and get caught up because you have less work to do this week. Our word for the day is abject. And abject is, you're almost, I don't know, in modern writing we see abject coupled with poverty. He lived in abject poverty. The official definition means sunk or existing in a low state or condition, cast down in spirit, showing hopelessness or resignation, expressing or offered in a humble or often ingratiating spirit. The example that Merriam-Webster gave from a modern sentence was a news article. Remember when Steve Harvey announced the wrong winner for Miss Universe? It says, Harvey, the comedian and TV host, offered abject apologies after first saying Miss Columbia had won, then later Miss Philippines, to the world's shock and amazement. So abject apologies would be very like humble and kind of cast down, almost like you were so humble that you almost seemed sad. So abject means as low as as low in spirit as you can be. That's another way of putting it. Our thought for the day is this Rocky quote, and I'm not going to give you the specific quote, but I keep seeing it pop up, and the thing that Rocky says is not how hard you can punch, but it's how hard of a punch can you take and keep fighting. And I think that's a good. I think that's a good lesson if you're going to learn a lesson from Rocky. And we've had a lot of students lately that have gone through deaths in their family or with their friends that have suffered some pretty bad injuries, that have had some illnesses to deal with, and all of that. And so, the type of student that you are is not about always what can you do on your best day. It's like what can you do on your worst day. Because in life, when you get into college, when you get into the workplace, life doesn't stop because of something bad happening to you. Life keeps going. And who you are or how you are as a person depends on how you respond to that. I would also like to say I'm doing these announcements on Periscope every day. I figured out a way to do Periscope and then Swivel and put them on YouTube at the same time. So if you're on Twitter or Periscope, add me to that. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.